Hello, thank you for joining us for Raising Strong GHP Kids. Today's topic is going to be teen health. My name is Jada Fossold, and I am a wellness associate with Geisinger. This information is being provided in order to increase your awareness. It is not intended to be medical advice, and if you believe that you may have any medical conditions or have specific questions regarding your health, please see your physician. This program today is going to focus on a variety of topics related to teen health, such as eating healthy, physical activity, personal and internet safety, dental health, and depression. Additionally, the program discusses the importance of healthy relationships and being a responsible young adult and taking charge of one's own health. So let's kick off by talking about nutrition. Healthy eating is so important, and here are some tips. Eat a variety of foods, and to do so, you need to eat the nutrients from all the different 5 food groups that we have. Being active regularly is super important too, so pick the type of movement that you enjoy. Drink plenty of water and only drink sugar-sweetened beverages in moderation. Build strong bones by getting enough calcium and vitamin D from dairy options or soy milk. And learn how to cook a few dishes and experiment with different fruits, vegetables, and spices. So, why should we eat healthy? Well, there's lots of different benefits to eating healthy. Some of those different reasons is that it's going to definitely support keeping your skin, teeth, and eyes really healthy. It's also going to support healthy muscles. It will help achieve and maintain a healthy weight, strengthen bones, support brain development, support healthy growth, boost immunity, and help the digestive system function properly. Would you like to learn more? Sure. Go ahead and try making what's called a MyPlate plan by visiting myplate.gov/myplate-plan. A MyPlate plan will give you a better idea of what foods to eat. And it's really neat because it's customized specifically just to you. So here are some more nutrition tips. Eating meals together will help your teen make better choices about the foods that they eat and promote healthy weight and give family members time to talk with each other. In addition, a teen who eats meals with the family is more likely to get better grades and less likely to smoke, drink, or use drugs, and they're less likely to get into fights, think about suicide, or engage in sexual activity. Be sure to encourage your teen to eat very well balanced meals. In regards to physical activity, movement is crucial for our bodies. Teens should aim for 1 hour of moderate to vigorous activities each day. And there are 3 different types of activities that they could be trying to exercise by doing. The 3 different types are going to be aerobic, which is walking and running. The second type is muscle strengthening, which would be push-ups or climbing. And the third type is bone strengthening. You can do that by jumping and running as well. So what type of movements do you like to do best? Me personally, I enjoy aerobic activity, and I enjoy doing that by walking on my tread climber in the basement. So together, we're going to do a couple different movement activities. Feel free to stand or sit, depending on where you are right now. In order, though, to do this stretch, it's best that you reach your arms up as far as you possibly can and spread your fingers for 10 seconds and hold it. Reach for the sky as you're doing this exercise. Great. The next exercise that we're going to do together is what we call high knees. Standing in place, lift your right leg up parallel with your hip. Now go ahead and place that right foot back down on the ground. We're going to repeat on the other side. Lift your left leg up parallel with your hip. Now place your left foot back down on the ground. Feel free to put this on pause while you go about doing this movement 10 more times on each side. The next activity that we're going to do are toe touches. Begin with your arms above your head, and with your left hand, reach down and touch your right foot while keeping your knees straight. Feel the stretch. All right, now stand back up in your original position. We're going to repeat on the other side. With your right hand, and your left foot. Begin with your right hand and reach down and touch your left foot and hold. Again, make sure that you're keeping those knees straight. All right, feel free to stand back up in your original position. Go ahead and put this recording on hold while you repeat 10 times on each side. Our next and final exercise are what we call air squats. What you're going to do is you're going to straighten your arms and place them out in front of you and squat down slowly until your knees are at a 90-degree angle. And then go ahead and stand back up. This is something that can also be done with a chair if you're feeling afraid of falling. What you would do is just simply do your squat until your knees are just slightly about 90 degrees angle, and make sure that your behind is just slightly hovering over your seat. Feel free to put this on pause and repeat 10 times. Next, we're going to talk about some sleep. So what really is healthy sleep? Well, most teenagers need between 8 and 10 hours of sleep per night. So that means if you're waking up at 7 a.m., you should be going to bed between 9 and 11 p.m. Many middle school students and high school students have a lot of room to improve their sleeping habits. As you can see, 7 out of 10 of high schoolers, they're not even getting enough sleep. So how do you go about obtaining healthy sleep? Well, for starters, you can go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. Also try to limit screen time and bright lights right before bedtime. Avoid very large meals before going to sleep. Make sure you're exercising during the day. And also make sure that your bedroom is dark and comfortable. Other things you can try too is trying not to sleep in very late on the weekends. Keep your same normal pattern that you do during the regular week. And also avoid caffeine late at night from coffee or energy drinks or even tea. In addition, another good way is to keep a sleep journal. This will help you and your doctor possibly discover ways to improve your sleeping habits. Different things you can write about are the times that you go to bed and what time you wake up. If you're waking up in the middle of the night, also about how your day went, and record if you had the time for any naps throughout the day. Next, we'll discuss some safety tips. In regards to physical safety, vehicle safety is really important. Teenagers should be aware of the importance of driving safely, since motor vehicle crashes are the leading cause of death from unintentional injuries among teens. They should make sure they're not getting in a car with someone who has been drinking. Teenagers also should be aware of wearing a helmet when riding a bike, a motorcycle, or an all-terrain vehicle, given how common that these types of injuries are. Teenagers should be aware of the warning signs of suicide. Suicide is the third leading cause of death among people ages 15 to 24 years. Teens should also be aware of risky behaviors such as drugs, drinking, smoking, and certain sexual activities, and how their friends might influence participation in these activities. They should also coordinate with parents and guardians to make sure that when they're leaving the house, they have plans to call each other, they can tell each other where they are going, and also when they plan to be home. Internet safety. Cyberbullying can be somewhat anonymous and it can be constant. It follows a student home even after school. Be mindful of interactive media, such as chat rooms and games. Oftentimes, you may think that they're just playing a game, but there's definitely a chat feature also incorporated with it, and bullying can be taking place on that platform as well. Encourage teens to make good decisions about what they post and the amount of time that they're spending on these activities. They need to be protecting their privacy online. Remind them that what they put out there is very difficult to undo. So let's talk about dental health. Here's a little trivia for you. What percentage of 12 to 19-year-olds have at least one untreated decayed tooth? What do you think? What's the percentage? If you said anything close to 13%, you were absolutely right. So that means for every 10 students in a room, about one is going to have an untreated or decayed tooth. So for every 20 students, 2 students are going to be untreated, and 30 students in a classroom, there's going to be 4 students with untreated and decayed tooth. Teens with poor oral health, they often miss school and they receive lower grades than those who have better oral health. Make sure that they are using toothpaste that contains fluoride. Since children who brush with fluoride toothpaste, they develop fewer cavities than those who don't. There are risk factors for getting cavities, and they include having relatives who already have cavities, high consumption of sugary foods and drinks, and also having special needs and wearing braces or orthodontics. They should make sure that they are visiting the dentist twice a year, and while they're there, they should ask the dentist about fluoride treatments and dental sealants, which might help reduce the likelihood of developing cavities. But when we think about depression, some teens do not like to talk about their feelings, and that makes it really difficult to detect. Therefore, it's really important to make sure that they're checking in on each other. Depression has many causes, making it important to get a professional's evaluation. Risk factors, such as trauma and stress, maltreatment, bullying and rejection, and having parents with depression, are all risk factors for a teen to be suffering from depression. There are many symptoms of depression, so be sure that you're asking your child how they are feeling, especially if there are changes in their mood and behavior. And if they're feeling depressed or they think that any of their friends might be depressed, make sure that you're encouraging them to talk, and especially either with you or even an adult. If they need help finding treatment facilities, they can visit what's called findtreatment.gov online, or if they can call the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, they can call or text the number 988, or they can chat at the website, which is 988lifeline.org. So depression treatment. There are many forms of therapy that are available. And for example, they are behavioral therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, and also family therapy. Sometimes medication is used, but sometimes it might not be as well, and this will be determined by a provider. Lifestyle is also very important. It's important to make sure that they're eating a nutritious diet, they are practicing mindfulness, they're getting physically active and doing exercises, that they have predictable routines in their life, and they have social support, and also making sure that they're getting adequate sleep. So as far as relationships are concerned, befriending others who act safely and don't put pressure on them is so important. Making friends with people who act positively and avoid those who are making unhealthy or unsafe choices. Teens tend to start spending more time with their friends and less time at home. So it's important that they're choosing their friends wisely. Consider allowing them to do fun activities with their friends, such as sports, music, art, and or even theater. If there's any conflict in their friend group, they should try their best to resolve it and not let it build up. There are a lot of changes that happen during the teenage years. They might find themselves in situations that are involving drugs and sex and alcohol. And so having a plan on how they will handle those situations ahead of time is key. So as teenagers are getting a little bit older, they start taking on more responsibility. They start doing things such as working maybe a part-time job, driving. They might become involved with romantic relationships and with the thoughts of preparing for college. So some tips to guide them positively is to make sure that you're not downplaying their concerns, that they are getting involved in activities, and they are setting realistic expectations to celebrate their efforts. So this concludes our presentation today, and I thank you for your time and attention. And before we go, there are a few member resources that I would like to touch upon. One of them being what we call Telenurse, which is a service that provides 24/7 health information and advice on a wide variety of medical topics. They can help you decide what kind of care is right for you. You can call them at 877-543-5061. You can also visit our events and programs website by visiting geisinger.org/events, or you can feel free to scan the QR code for direct access to our event page. The QR code is located right here on the right-hand side of the screen. The last resource I'd like to touch upon is what we call Neighborly. Feel free to visit neighborlypa.com for low-cost to no-cost resources in your area. Again, thank you.